And welcome in, Gyms and Gymettes, to another exciting edition of No Substitute for Sports. I'm your host, Nick Johnston. This is episode 37. And yes, in just 3 short weeks of football, it's safe to say the Taylor Swift performance at Soldier Field a few months ago, that is still going to be more memorable and more impactful than anything you're going to see from the Bears at that same stadium. Mark my words. Thank you. It's disappointing, but it is what it is. Thank you as always for tuning into the No Substitute for Sports podcast on the Degenerates Network YouTube page. If you're just stumbling upon us, hit that subscribe button, but only after you hit the like button. Maybe share us around, tell your friends, tell your security guard at work. You know, the one with the hard outer shell, but on the inside, heart of gold. You just got to talk to them. That's the people we want listening to this program. You want to follow us there on the Twitter or the X, whatever you want to throw up. Shout out to the people that went to the Lost Lands. Hopefully everything was nice and dandy. Hopefully they threw their X up there as well at Degenerates. And every Friday, 1 p.m. Central, I go live on twitch.tv/SportsTownShy for No Substitute for Sports Live, cleaning up anything we don't get to there, possibly any breaking news. Finally, if you need more wrestling talk, any more of your wrestling fix, check out Bad Karma Wrestling. We go live every Friday now. We're going to start anywhere between 1 or 11. Excuse me. I go 1 on Fridays on the Twitch. So X-Bomb Sports on Facebook and YouTube. X-Bomb Sports for Bad Karma Wrestling. Probably going live around 11-ish, 12 at the latest. And we'll get a nice little hour of talking pure wrestling between me and my instructor, my friend David Double D Dykstra. That's what we're talking over there. Shooting anything over there. Hopefully joining some guests. Always a good opportunity over there. Like I said, that's fine and dandy. Enough self-promotion, all that bullshit. That'll be, like I said, a little bit more. We're talking no substitute for sports live here. Like I said, either way, check us out anywhere and everywhere. Thank you. As always, plenty to talk about here today. That's why I don't want to spend here too much on this intro. Got some Bears talk therapy with me, a comeback victory with Mike, and the rest of the league. Between the two of us, we'll be talking NFL Week 3 recaps and the upsets and everything else, all that fun jazz. Next up, hitting our fantasy league, our Des Nuts fantasy talk, recapping and previewing matchups, maybe some free agent talk, and take note of the outstanding performances throughout the week. After some quick thoughts on the Bulls potentially getting afterward, we got some quick thoughts on the Bulls potentially getting Damian Lillard. Excuse me. Some fun notes on that. I know that there might be potential front runner or rumored. Finally, reactions to AEW Grand Slam and WWE's recent releases. All that, tons more in between. But before we get underway, let me introduce to you my friend and co-host, the founder and CEO of FatCat_Streams. That's with a Z. Mikey J. Fatcat, how you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm doing great. It's been a good night, good day in general. I'm ready to get this going per usual, man.
Oh, yeah. I know you had a good little weekend. We're rocking and rolling over here as always. Man, it's like we'll just dive into the apps. We're just like over the weekend. The internet exploded like it usually did from between sports. College was crazy this week. Week 3, week 4, technically for college, between Colorado getting their ass whooped. Deion Sanders. If you're on that side of the fence, we'll get to that in a little bit. Also, Notre Dame and Ohio State. That was one of the big matchups as well. But the internet exploded like it usually does between the Taylor Swift stuff that went on. There was some other fun stuff. I mean, just going around, just this recap somewhat of this internet. This year it's been awesome. The Grimace Shake trend, that was great. Again, just this week, the Kevin James meme just exploded out of nowhere. Just simply a picture of Kevin James from his time of King and Queens. Just blew up out of nowhere. Again, anything Taylor Swift involved right now, but this is something that's going to fly under the radar. I want to get your thoughts on this. I'm going to see if you saw this. But possibly, a nominee for trend joke replies of the year, whatever the award might be. If you checked or if you saw that Mia Khalifa had posted something about coming back, making her step back into the performing art, I guess, that she once was in. That's not the post that I'm talking about exactly. It's the replies that got the award. And I don't know if you saw, again, the big replies, the trend of the joke was just replying with old pictures of NBA legends towards the end of their career, simulating the same thing for Mia Khalifa, that she's at the end of her rope. She's almost done. Pictures of Tracy McGrady on the Spurs, Allen Iverson on the Memphis Grizzlies, uh Scottie Pippen on the Portland Trail Blazers, Shaq on the Cavaliers, one I didn't even know, Patrick Ewing on the Orlando Magic. I can keep going on and on, but again, just showing me once again that the internet ceases to they win every single time. It's so funny every single time, and whoever started that trend, I don't know if you'll stay anonymous. I tip my cap to they win the internet that weekend. I think that might have been the funniest thing. Of course, not the most viral, but I think the funniest for me. Just maybe your thoughts on that, the internet in general this week, whatever you got.
I think I saw that on X, Twitter, or whatever, and I did not really know what was going on, but now that makes sense. That's hilarious. So
Oh,
that's
it had been a long time since I had bellowed out such a hearty laugh down, like just being on my phone in public, or just like being around my girlfriend. And then I had to sit there and explain to her what this whole was. And I'm like, no, it's not what you think. I'm not looking at her post. I'm looking at, because it was the quote retweet from whoever it was, again, saying, just check out the replies. You're going to die. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I have to. And sure enough, that's all it was. Derek Fisher on the Oklahoma City Thunder, Paul Gasol on the Clippers. Like, god damn it, like they win every time. Joakim Noah on the Clippers. Like, god damn it. Oh fuck. So she's trying. Oh, that poor girl's trying. I feel for her. I wish her well. Best of luck in your future endeavors, Mia Khalifa. This was just so funny to me. That's, again, just the internet ceases to amaze me. They always win. They always win.
undefeated.
Absolutely. Looking forward in our appetizers. Some I didn't know this until earlier, and then I know this is not too breaking heart on this side, but Stephen Amell, Arrow, we saw him at All In. His show Heels on Starz. Unfortunately, the wrestling drama is coming to a close. It has been canceled. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if you've seen it. I haven't personally seen it myself, but here in a wrestling show, it's another one bites the dust between Glow and then this one. And I'm sure there's other stuff. I'm sure Dark Side of the Ring is running out of ideas soon. It's probably 1 foot in, 1 foot out, I'm sure. But what are any thoughts on Heels getting cut?
I've never seen the show, but yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Stephen Amell. That's
just too many
damn
streaming
shame.
sites. I don't have the Starz streaming site or whatever it may be.
Yeah,
So.
there's too many different things to watch. Yeah, you said too many different places to watch them. It's just it's hard sometimes for these shows, man.
Absolutely. Carrying on, looking through, like I said, we'll get to more of the sports and the college stuff towards the end, but it wasn't looking good for any wrestlers. Still in the same boat. Not looking good for any wrestlers in real life, actually. Being on any podcasts as of late. Kurt Angle was recently on Joe Rogan. Ric Flair just recently on Kill Tony. Just listen. I listened to Rogan with Angle like halfway through it. It was pretty brutal. It's been pretty brutal just listening to all his the addiction problems / just hearing how beaten down and broken his body is right now. Like I said, not entirely done, not finished with it all the way, but it's been a rough one. So just if you're gonna take a listen, definitely take it. Be ready. Just be ready. I would say. And you were taking a listen to Kill Tony today. What happened with Ric Flair and Kill Tony today? Or I think it was posted at least today.
Yeah, it was posted last night, I believe. But they're pre-recorded, I think, from
Yes, they
2
are.
weeks ago. So
Yeah.
but yeah, Ric Flair angry at Tony and friends. He was never seen episode of the show, apparently, which Tony said he probably should have sent him, but apparently Ric Flair seemed very drunk and he was not a fan of them roasting people on stage, which is what Kill Tony's all about. So he went on to a couple spiels throughout the show, and then halfway through, he was just like, "I'm getting out of here," and
Yeah.
just dipped.
Don't be a bully, be a star, like WWE told everybody to be. That's kind of what I got from it. I know he was off his rocker, a little
Because
older, a
Ric
little.
Flair has never done, anything bad in his life.
No, he is not. Those all those documentaries about him are lying. Uh, no, that it's been a rough one. It's been a tough go, and just like I said, but it looks a little rough. There was some talk or Q&A back in the day, and he was hammered and he was talking shit to like JR, and then that's kind of when he went into the whole intervention and not drinking anymore. But yeah,
Mm.
very surprising that even when he was back on Rogan, that probably was the time when he was on Kill Tony. So you said they're pre-recorded.
Yeah, Tony probably asked him then, like, "Hey,
Yeah,
you want to do Kill Tony with me?"
yeah.
And
I mean, I think they were talking about how much like he doesn't really drink anymore. I think he had the liver issue or something like that. Either way, I don't know, that kind of struck me as pretty surprising that he got so hammered and wanted to go out in public again. I feel like he's learned his lesson from that, but I guess not. I mean, it's not like he didn't really show his ass. It's just kind of a little embarrassing, a little on the cringe side. Like I said, not doing your homework, not knowing what Kill Tony is. Yeah, I can understand, not being your vibe, making fun of people.
yeah,
But yeah, like if you just say, "Yeah, I'm gonna do this,"
but I don't know. I don't know. I don't think what they were saying was like the worst of things, but that's just I've seen the show so many times, so it's
yeah,
just me. But
yeah, exactly. You just kind
it's
of
it's
you're
what the
just used to it.
guy like he was looking past the comedian side. Like the last guy before he left was school, like a wrestling coach. So he was like, "I'm not gonna sit here and watch you guys demean like this guy that coaches young kids to wrestle and stuff." But
Oh,
it's like they're just talk. It's just this
yeah, it's
comedy
separate. You gotta
routine, man.
separate the two,
Yeah, like
dude.
it's just they're not roasting him over that. Like it's
Nah,
yeah,
no, I
like
think he probably between that and like I said, I caught a little couple clips. He was catching some shots from some of the comedians that were up there, so he probably just got a little butthurt, a little drunk, and wanted to go home type
yeah,
deal.
yeah.
It happens, it's like I
It
said, he's
is
a little.
what it is.
I'm still very much worth checking out the rest of it because again, the Shane Gillis on there, Ari Shafir, Louis J. Gomez, obviously Tony Hinchcliffe himself, and you said Mark Norman was in there as well.
Yeah.
Uh,
It was a stacked episode. I
oh
still
yeah.
have to finish it as well.
Yeah,
So
those go a little bit longer. Those are almost like sometimes upwards of like 3 hours, right?
about it's like usually 2 hours is usually the max.
Oh,
This
okay.
one was like an hour and 50 minutes, I
Okay.
think.
Not that bad. Not that bad. Yeah, I got to catch up on some stuff. Fell back, didn't watch Collision, didn't watch Rampage. You're just out doing shit. So
Yeah.
yeah, it is what it is. Falling back on some stuff, getting ready. Yeah, it's mostly because we were watching, at least I was watching some college ball, catching up on watching little Colorado versus Oregon, and boy oh boy, that 21-point dogs that put on an ass whooping for Dion. I think he even said it
Oh,
himself. I don't know if you had any thoughts on it in general. One, that speech by Oregon's coach. They're playing for clicks. We're playing for wins. That got me going, and I'm sure everyone did. And that again, that was funny. That I think I was watching Pick Central like I usually do, and Nick Mangold was like, ironic that video that's gonna get clicks and go so viral because you said that, and just whatever, it's its own little vicious cycle. Regardless, it's
hmm.
just a very very good thing to point out by Nick Mangold, from one Nick to another. But overall, my thought on it just was one, it it showed that, yeah, just overall in Colorado, a lot of skill position guys, not a lot of good things in the trenches. They got to win on the offensive line, defensive line. Poor old Deion Sanders kiddo looked like he was running for his life. But they were 21-point dogs for a reason. I mean, Oregon really came out and stomped it and just let them have it, sure, and you could have live bet it even higher and higher. But anyone saying like, "Oh, the glass slipper is off or it's broken, the Cinderella story's over." I mean, this was again, if you look back to last year, a 1-win program, and I think they're 1 or 2 games away from taking their team total, depending on what sports book you have on them.
Wow.
He's doing pretty good, and Deion Sanders again never does anything. He doesn't go out and look for the media. The media comes to him, and he doesn't say anything really controversial other than, I guess, the truth, if you want to put it that way. And he doesn't put anything on anybody. It's always reactionary to what everybody else is. So I'll be on Deion Sanders' side for that. He doesn't take away opportunities. He's not a me guy. He's still very much involved with these kids. So that's why it's still on that. People are still, they see the high spread is up for them again against whoever else they're playing, UAB or I don't know,
USC, or I
USC.
think,
Thank you.
yeah.
So many abbreviations. I might take or Colorado to cover, but we'll have to see about that and see what the sharp money says. But regardless, my thing on that again was just good win for Oregon. You were supposed to win. Again, anyone that's like dancing or doing any celebrations on Deion Sanders, like this is exactly how it was supposed to be. Kind of should have been a little bit better. Maybe a couple could have came off the bus, as they say. But Oregon's offense and defense is pretty shut down defense, and saying it is an explosive offense is underselling it for sure. They move the ball. Like it was fun to watch that game, regardless of what it was. So overall, that storyline was fun to take part of. Did you have any thoughts, any takeaways from this Oregon? Just maybe just Deion Sanders in general. Have you been just wrapped up in this whole storyline?
Yeah, Dion's great, but they've got their ass whooped and they walk all over the logo before the game, and that's what they get.
Yeah,
So
I think that was definitely a big motivator. Again, the idea that Oregon is such a huge favorite, but hey, everyone's paying attention to Colorado and their fucking sunglasses. So that's motivation. And it's motivation, and it goes both ways. So again, Colorado can either keep their heads low and be mad or upset, or they can just look forward into the next time. So
I think it's
Oregon,
back to the point where they've got to prove themselves again now.
oh yeah, I
Because,
think
I
so.
mean, if you can't beat one of these top teams, then you're not going to do anything. I mean, it is awesome that they have won more than they even won last year already. But yeah, I mean, like at you got to, like, they're going to play another tough team next week,
Yeah,
this upcoming week.
and
So
I don't think it's going to be an overnight thing. I mean, like again, the fact that they've won this many games this early is kind of like it's pretty impressive, and that's in that regard. Again, when you think back to a complete overhaul from not from Deion Sanders not being there last year, 1 win, 1-11 last year, no chance, and then potentially now there's a couple more wins under your belt. You maybe can look at a bowl game at the very least, not maybe not a playoff, but a bowl game, and that's pretty impressive going from 1 win to a bowl game in my mind. So
yeah,
I don't know that I this is my first trying to really dive into college football. I was kind of outside looking in just because I was last year finally being able to bet and gamble on college football for basically the full year. So yeah, just trying to indulge myself again. And then the other one, big game. I'm sure there was a ton. I'm looking over the program, looking over the week, but Notre Dame and Ohio State, that was also one of the big ones for sure. Uh, the story, that was a close one for sure, 17-14 being the final, but only having 10 players on the field for the last couple plays, that did Notre Dame in for sure, I would think. And you can go back and forth about everything. My only big takeaway was, I don't know if you saw this as well, brought up by Pat McAfee of all things, as kind of who stirred the pot. The Lou Holtz interviewing real Lou Holtz, and Lou Holtz telling everybody that Ohio State's going to get crushed. This, that, and the other. They don't have this. They don't have the makings of a varsity athlete. They're gonna get manhandled in the offensive line, and the defensive line's gonna eat their lunch money, bang their girlfriends, and all that bullshit. So that's what Lou Holtz basically said. Everyone else, a lot of people, to be fair, a lot of everybody else, a lot of other talking heads said that. But I guess just to Ryan Day, the head coach of Ohio State, that was the only person that it resonated into. It really stuck in his craw, and he called them out as soon as they won, just in the middle of the field. That was like the first interview question. He called out Lou Holtz, like, "Where's Lou Holtz at? This, that, and the other. We just won. We proved him wrong." And everyone reacted to, "Whoa, why are you calling out a 90-year-old man, dude? This, that, and the other." So I was reacting to, well, first off, where I come from, when someone, criticizes you or does something and then you prove them wrong, you have every right to chirp back, say something back, and in that sense. But I guess it's not the same thing. I guess when Lou Holtz is Lou Holtz and he's won, I guess, 2 national titles, but all the way back in the 70s and 80s with Notre Dame and Ohio State. I just didn't get it because again, I maybe me showing my ass, didn't know who Lou Holtz was to the same degree. I knew he was talking about him as the way that he was a legendary coach, very well respected, this, that, and the other. But again, to me, that's just what I said. When you criticize and then when you stomp back and you pound and you shove it up their ass, you have every right to chirp back. And I was on Ryan Day's side on that. Again, I don't know, maybe where you fall, but a lot of people were just on that same side of like, oh, he's in. Sorry, I keep running it back, but that was finally my final thought on it. Just like that was your only excuse, like, oh, just because he's an old man, he can just run around and say whatever he wants and get away with it. I was like, no, I'll maybe be a little ageist or show my ageism or whatever. I'm like, no, that we're not doing that. Whether you're 80, whether you're 8 or 80, if you show your ass and you say something that's wrong, you have every right to be corrected and be like proved wrong. I don't know. That was just me and my sense. So I'm sure a lot of people called Ryan Day and Ohio State out. Did Lou Holtz only be deserving to get called out? No, I don't think that was right on Ryan Day's side. He could have, but does he have all day to list out every single person that said everything about them? He's not Deion Sanders. He didn't sound like he had the time to have the receipts from everybody on what was said this week. So just final thoughts. Like I said, I'm on Ryan Day's side in the fact that he gets to chirp back. Was it justified then and there? No, little gray area, but Lou Holtz, if you're wrong, you get to be proven wrong no matter what your hierarchy is. Someone was we were trying to have this conversation. They're like, what if Nick Saban, what if this was with you just because it's more familiar to me, like what Nick Saban has done these past 20, 25 years while I've been around. I was like, oh, well, what if Nick Saban got chirped by somebody else just because he got on air and talked about Alabama? I'm like, well, everyone's up. If Nick Saban is wrong, then he's in right. It doesn't matter if he's won however many national titles. If you're wrong, you're wrong. That was just my boat. So that was just me trying to wrap up final thoughts. Anything on this with you? I don't know if you heard anything about it at all. Maybe that was a good summary in some sort. What are your thoughts again? Just your reaction to that, or just on Ohio State and Notre Dame in general.
I was watching Pat McAfee live and when he was on, and yeah, the crowd was going wild. He was hyping them up. Notre Dame is winning for sure.
And justifiably so. Again, he's former coaches for both, but he's in Notre Dame. He's not going to sit there and say, "Oh yeah, Notre Dame's going to get their ass whooped." No, I'm not waiting for that. I'm just saying, like, I get it. Like, I get what he was trying to do, but still, like,
I'm glad he got called out.
Yeah.
He's the talking head on the big show that everyone's watching. Who else is he going to call out? Of course, he's going to call out the guy that's talking shit about them, saying that they're going to get whooped. So that's what you get. I don't care how old you are. He's not a child. Like, he talks shit. That's what he gets.
Yeah, exactly. Words. I don't know. Like I said, where I come from, you stick your neck out and you say something, and you have every opportunity. You might get hit back in your neck. I don't know. Shit like that happens. I don't know. Like I said, it's not a threat. Just that's just how it be around here. Any final thoughts going into? Just thought about everything we just talked about. Anything just around the college football world. Not really going to be diving any more extensively into that. More into the professional side. Like I said, we'll get into a little bit of baseball, a little bit of basketball, and wrap it up with the wrestling like we usually do. How's that sound?
That sounds good to me.
Awesome. Well, if you're ready to roll, we can get into the NFL side of things. If you let me just sit here and wallow in my just pain and sorrow, I'll talk about the Bears very briefly. I just have some side notes. I will not really be talking about the Allen Williams situation. I didn't really maybe just shame on
I
me.
don't know what's confirmed or denied at
It,
this point. They
I'm
say he never got raided. All that stuff's false. I mean, Rappaport said that. So, I mean, it's just like I don't
yeah.
even know what to believe at this point.
For now, just keeping my hands clean of it. Don't want to say anything that'll put me in danger. Like I said, I talked about on Friday's show. If you want to either play that back on the Spotify, I'll leave it at just this guy, this account blew up him and their anonymous source blew this up. Well, you want what you really blew up? Your credibility, dude, making up this false story. So again, I don't know what's true, what's false. I'll let the news depict that out. Let them figure that out. You can hear from an actual professional talking head. In that case, like I said, I'm gonna stick to what happened on the field, and that wasn't any much prettier. So I'll actually be going back up to the stands, and we're gonna be talking about Taylor Swift for the next 25 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. We can't do that either. Sad Bears recap for a little bit, maybe a little optimism. Like I said, we'll see about that. Yeah, Taylor Swift will sell out this. Maybe just a bold prediction. Maybe going out on a limb, and I'll probably just be wrong by the next time the Bears actually play at Soldier Field. But Taylor Swift will sell out Soldier Field again before the Bears do. Mark my words. Just that I don't know when her next tour is. It might be in 2025, but that'll be the next time that Soldier Field is sold out. I don't know. Other side note, did you see that Kelsey's jersey sales went up 400%?
Yeah, that's all the Taylor
400%.
Swift fans. Oh my
All those
God,
guys,
let's go
all the
Chiefs.
Swifties. I mean, what is there to say about this game? 41-10. You were there next to me. I fell asleep, not because a mixture of the game was going to be an ass whooping, and I was dog tired. I was dog tired. There was nothing to watch from this game. There's nothing to take away. There's nothing to build upon this team. Really looking at it, Justin Fields is done. He's done.
Wow.
He's done on the Bears. He
Week
might not be done in the
3.
NFL. I think there's another opportunity. The Bears, I can be on the side of the Bears have failed him with a mixture of Fields isn't as good as I thought he was going to be. And I don't know, again, if it was coaching, wrong time, if there was just that little spark there was the spark towards the end of the season. I talked about that last week. We've seen glimpses, but going 11 for 22 for 99 yards, I think only getting 87 actual passing yards after you got all sacked by the end of the day. 1 TD, but it was in garbage time. You got intercepted. Led the team in rushing, but that's not what the Bears want. 11 rushes, 47 yards. That's what happened. That's Justin Fields' day. That's horrible for a guy that was predicted to have an MVP caliber season. You are shitting the bed week in and week out. I don't know. I don't even know what there is to say. I honestly don't know. I mean, the idea of benching him and then the response being, well, what would that do to his confidence? Fuck his confidence at this point. I'm sorry. There is nothing going on. Put in the backup. Put in the guy that I can't even pronounce his name. I can put it up in front of me. Baguette.
Something like that.
Bagnet or something like that. It's something like Tyson or Tyrone. I don't know. Put him in. Time is to just put in something that we can look forward to, because this ain't it. I get it. Tough defense. The Chiefs are locking it down. Taylor Swift is in the building. They're trying to get all right on every single cylinder. Didn't look good in their home opener against the Lions. Didn't look as good as they wanted to against the Jags. Still got the win. But they really wanted to hammer it against an awful This might be the worst Bears defensive line ever. And it makes me sick watching on Monday night Jalen Carter force a fumble and then dancing around. And you can sit there and say, personal issues, character issues, this, that, and the other. If this motherfucker's producing on the field, you should have drafted him. The second coming of Aaron Donald. And we said, nah, we'll pass. We'll pass for a right tackle for an offensive line that's nowhere near being ready to handle anything at a professional level. Not him and not Darnold, not right, just personally, but the entire line was gone. Everyone's on IR. We got the left tackle playing center. We got a right tackle playing left tackle. We got our rookie right tackle. Everyone's all over the place. There's no ID. There's no identification for this team. Back in the day, we can hang our hat on being a tough defense. That's been gone for years. Haven't had an offense, functional offense, forever. This team is awful. And I can sit there and I'll go through the stats. I'll just read them off. Kansas City had 28 first downs compared to the Bears 11, 75 total plays compared to the Bears 51, 456 total yards to the Bears 203. 203. The only thing you can say, again, that you can maybe somewhat hang your hat on, 153 rushing yards to the Bears 116. They still didn't outrush the Kansas City Chiefs, but that's still their better stat is rushing. The only one that gives a fuck is Roschon Johnson. That's the only person that gives a fuck. Only 2 attempts in the red zone, and one of them was in garbage time. You only get 2 turnovers, and that was because Blaine Gabbert just handed you the ball 2 times. 13-point difference on possession. The 13-minute possession time in favor of the Kansas City Chiefs. There was nothing to look forward to in this game. There's nothing to watch. I heard Matt Eberflus say that something about he rewatched this game and he's seen something that we aren't. Go fuck you. Honestly, I mean, I'm trying to be kind here, but this is the show to be like to swear, and then on Fridays where I put on my hat and my top hat and cane and I be all nice and sincere. But this is it. Eberflus, you're not. Unfortunately, he's not going to get fired halfway through. But this is awful. You can't lie to. You can't come. I knew you. Maybe you could get that in Indianapolis where no one's really looking, or wherever else you were. But you're not going to get past the Chicago media with. Yeah, we see we see something that you guys don't. The fuck you do. This team is awful. This team is horrible. I wish I had a thesaurus or something else. I wish I could find it for how many other words there are for bad, terrible, awful. Just I want to throw up. There's nothing to look forward to. And get this. I mean, everyone's already pointed it out. Their next opponent is the Broncos, who just gave up 70 points, lost by 50, and they are 3.5-point favorites on the road in Chicago. That speaks volumes. That is what the Bears are. There's nothing. There is nothing to look forward to with this team. There's nothing. So that's it. That was the Bears. 41-40. I don't give a fuck. They lost by a ton. It should have been by a million. I don't know. Cheeseburger Andy Reid just took the gas off. Blaine Gabbert said, fuck it. Here's the ball. So there you go. If that's what you want, if you want to hang your hat on and say, hey, the Bears outscored Kansas City 10-0 in the fourth quarter, you did it. You did it. You really did. Any thoughts on the Bears, Mikey? On anything you got to enjoy? I obviously will switch to you in a little bit, get a little optimistic, but what was your intake on the Bears in this ass whooping? Because you were actually awake. So
I expected. I knew that they were gonna get whooped this game, but
not even showing up. That was the thing.
Fields said,
sorry.
What were you gonna say?
Sorry, you kind of cut out a little bit. It might be my connection, but they knew it was going to be an ass whoop, but they didn't even show up. That was my thing. That was why it stuck in my cross so bad. Sorry, go ahead.
Fields says he's gonna play like his old self this game. Nothing to show for it. DJ Moore gets a late touchdown. I guess they decide to use him when the game's over already. Robert Tonyan still hasn't even had a single target or reception all year. Oh, wow. I don't know why they even signed him or why he's there, but
I didn't even pay it. In the mix of all that, didn't even pay attention to that. Now there's even something else to be pissed off about. Thank you for that.
It's only been Cole Kmet. It's the only tight end I've ever, and I was looking at the stats. Robert Tonyan has nothing at all. Nothing.
I'm sure Mercedes Lewis has probably had more snaps than Robert Tonyan.
Yeah, I don't know why'd they sign him if you're not going to, it's 3 games deep now and you haven't used him at all. It's like, he's not hurt or anything. I don't know if the Bears are completely done yet. It's because the Chiefs are a very great team. So it's going to come down to this Broncos game. If they lose to this team and then they have the Commanders and then you have a chance of being 0-5. And then if you lose to the Commanders, I feel like then that's if you're 0-5 and you lose the Commanders, and that's really like, okay, we are
Hack
cooked
it the
right
fuck
now.
in, put
Yeah.
everybody and sell
Because
everybody and everything.
I still want to say it's early. I mean, they could win this Broncos game and then they can beat the Commanders, then they're 2-3 and it's not the worst record. But if they lose these next two games back to back, it's going to be rough for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, they are in a tough spot right now, but I'm not calling it completely over for them yet.
Well, that at least makes one of us. I'm just there's nothing to build upon on this team right now. We'll see. I know maybe there's gonna be every dog has his day, I suppose, and we'll see who really who's gonna shit the bed next week between the Broncos and the Bears. Boy, yeah, not really looking forward to that one. That's gonna be disgusting. Transition over to you and your Packer guys from Saints, unless you had any final thoughts on the Bears. Like I said, you got to enjoy a nice little comeback. Jordan Love looked decent. Derek Carr went down. Saints defense was all up on you for a little bit, but that, like I said, a fourth quarter comeback for the Packers. How take us through it.
Come on. Where's
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm. Go Pack go. Losing 17-0 going into the fourth quarter. Are you kidding me? Touchdown early in the game for Saints. Kick return. Field goal. Packers had nothing going in their home opener whatsoever. I don't know what Matt LaFleur drew up at halftime or talked about on the sideline in the third quarter, but this team didn't give up and they kept fighting till the end. Touchdown. Went for the 2-point conversion so they can just win the fucking game. And that was, just awesome. I was depressed most of the game. I was just sad. I already knew there was gonna be shit talking. There were already tweets. People really thought Jordan Love was it. Blah blah blah. No Christian Watson. No Aaron Jones. No David Bakhtiari. No Jair Alexander. And the Packers fucking get a comeback win in the fourth, 17-18. Just wow. I could not believe it, and I really am. I've had my optimism and faith in Jordan Love since the preseason. Since they said he was the starter, but I'm fully invested in him. I'm getting that goddamn jersey soon. He's the man. I've seeing him hype up the crowd in Green Bay and showing the emotion he was showing and shit. This team is gonna fight for him. I think this is the most the Packers have felt like a real team in a while. It was Rodgers' team, and it was just, if we were down like this with Rodgers as our quarterback, I don't know if we're coming back because he's just going to be forcing deep passes. He's going to be throwing the tablet on the ground on the sideline, and he's just going to give up. But this team didn't quit. They're all invested with each other. They love Jordan Love. We have one of the youngest teams in the league. They're out there trying to prove themselves. Romeo Doubs said after the game he's been taking reps with Jordan Love since he's been drafted to the Packers last year. His guy, Romeo Doubs, is second right now in the NFL in touchdowns with 3. They have great connection, and it's been awesome. With that last touchdown of Romeo Doubs, he literally threw it twice to him back to back, and he was I just know you're gonna catch this. So just a great touchdown, great plays by the team. Jordan Love using his feet, getting a 20+ yard run in the fourth. Like, it's just so many great things. It's just I could talk forever, but I'm so excited for this team. And now we're
No,
gonna play the Lions on Thursday in Lambeau. when Christian Watson and Aaron Jones said they're going to be back, and I can't wait. Come on, Packers. We're both 2-1. There's already going to be a fight for the division early on. Winner will be leading the NFC North. So let's fucking go, Green Bay. Come on, baby.
There you go. Now, if I may poke some holes in your cheese, as I will, Jordan Love looking a little shaky in the beginning. However, let me backtrack.
But how did it end?
Let me backtrack. I did like that. I did like that thing you just set up. I don't know if that's going to be the narrative, that changing from Aaron Rodgers' team to just being the Packers again. I like that. I think that might be a nice little thing to carry on. Looked a little shaky in the beginning. Jordan Love did. I did like him stumbling over and falling over. That was funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
I'm not going to sit there and play the what if game. They did. They kept it really close. Derek Carr goes down.
No,
Derek
I don't
Carr
want
goes
to
down.
hear it.
Derek Carr goes down early.
We had 4 starters that weren't playing this game.
There's still an opportunity that he could have played it, and there was a missed field goal right at the end. So it's not like it was signed, sealed, delivered. They still had to pucker their anus a little bit and play. There's still opportunity. I'm leaving you with this though. I'm not gonna completely shit on it. I'm saying that this was a good performance. I'm not sold on great just yet, being the label, but I think good is on the table. And overall, like you were alluding to, I think a playoff berth is possible for this team. I think the Lions are better. I think they're going to show it on Thursday. They're a 1-point favorite on the road, and playing in Lambeau, no matter who it is tough. So giving that 1-point favorite is huge. But this is going to be this is going to be their biggest test up until here. The Saints defense was tough. I would have said this was going to be their biggest test now. I'm right around the same, but yeah, like I said, Derek Carr going down, that's a little bit of a factor. Come on, you can't say Jameis Winston is the equivalent.
I know. Okay. Yeah, I don't. So, I hate that I see so many people saying that. Well, maybe, but the Packers didn't have.
But it was a comeback win. Like it was a comeback win against what will probably be at the end of the year, a top 10 defense. So I'm not taking the win away from them. I'm just saying that I say that all the time, the ifs and buts, but there's some factors in here. This is the prove it game where it needs to be somewhat flawless. Detroit takes advantage of a lot of things on a primetime game. Dan Campbell knows how to take to manage these ball games, especially against a young Green Bay Packers squad. This is going to be a very huge and true test, and again, another opportunity on primetime to show everybody what's up. So it's going to be it's going to be a big one. It's going to be for sure. So Aaron Jones, like I said, Aaron Jones might be coming back. Watson might be coming back. Bakhtiari did not participate in practice today, so something alluded to, but he's never there. So I don't even know. He's there. He's not. It doesn't really matter. So I don't know. Anything else lingering on this ball game before we hit the rest of these matchups?
I love the Packers. I thought I was going to be depressed this year, but again, and I said it in a previous episode already, even when my bets lose my fantasy, I'm cooked in my fantasies, but god damn it, the Packers win on Sunday. That's all I fucking care about at the end of the day. So
there's at least something to hang your head up on.
What a
I gotta at least hit one of the two. I either got to hit bets or win fantasy, because I know the Bears aren't fucking winning on Sunday. So that's what I got going for me. Now, my trifecta is lingering on one end for sure. So there you go. We can hit the week 3 recap on the rest of the league, go through the final results, and like I said, maybe steal from Colin Cowherd. Not everything. Definitely not gonna steal from his imagery department on what's going on, but you're gonna steal just like a 3-word game type deal. Just kind of get some small cliff notes on the ball game. If you're ready to roll, we can hit it. We got Colts and Ravens. Colts win 22-19 in overtime, ruining my moneyline parlay, but getting a humongous win for them. My thoughts: get Gardner Minshew to the Bears, and a mixture of that, and like what went down with I don't know what to do with Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Do they just play down to competition? Gus Edwards getting a concussion. What was the whole deal? I don't really know. Any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like the Ravens just always find some way. There's always games I feel like they lose like this, and
And this was a
they
wacky
lost.
week. This was a wacky week in the
Yeah.
NFL. We had what, 4 or 5 outright, just plus 7.5 spreads, just win outright. Not the Bears, though, of course, but between the Texans beating the Jags, the Colts beating the Ravens, the Cowboys losing to the Cardinals. I'm trying to think off the top of my head who else, but yeah, some other big ones for sure. Yes, this was wacky.
Yeah, but they lost to Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, always
So
ready to play.
you're supposed to be a top tier team in the NFL, and you're losing to the Colts. So
What an
you need to
absolute
figure
dog.
something out. I
What an
mean, I've
absolute
always
dog.
been a fan of him, but yeah, it's just cooking them, just cooks them up. And there's always, I mean, I was just watching Aaron Rodgers on Pat McAfee, and he was saying there's always these teams that there's teams that you think are just going to be the shits every week, or you just completely count them out and they just figure something out. They have a player that's cooking, or they're just like there's something that's clicking for them, and we see it happen all the time in the NFL. So it was a good game for the Colts for
I
sure
mean, this was
against a
their
very good team.
this was similar to last year where the Colts beat the Colts beat the Chiefs. It's just like, holy shit, like what's going on? I mean, obviously they showed the Colts didn't that they were ass the rest of the year, but it's just that's exactly what happens.
And then just Scott Hansen, they just keep showing him on Wrestle, like, and they've scored again on the Chiefs. And like, what's going on
Yeah.
right
What
now,
is
man?
going on, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, always good listening to Scott Hansen. Next one on the docket, 27 for the Browns, 3 for the Titans. I think at the last second I bet the
Oh,
Titans, but I wasn't really not really too upset. This defense is legit for the Browns, holding Derrick Henry to only 20 yards rushing. A nice day for Amari Cooper. Unfortunately, a good, decent day for Deshaun Watson. That one funky play we were kind of watching again on Red Zone where Amari Cooper was clearly still in bounds by like a
yeah,
full
they
yard, and they called him out of bounds. So he made up for it. He got another
horrible
touchdown.
refs.
Yeah, he made up for it. He got another touchdown later, but still crazy that
Man,
you
how does
have
that happen?
so many
There's the
cameras.
reviews.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
those
I mean,
cameras, all this review technology, and they still got that
it
wrong
should
was
have been
bonkers.
reversed immediately.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand.
We were watching. It was like we're sitting there like, how are they reviewing this? What are they reviewing? Did he not have the ball? Like he had the
Yeah.
ball.
And when I saw that he didn't get it later on in the day, I was like, what? Because we
Yeah,
saw that in red zone, and I thought it was for sure a touchdown. But
yeah,
yeah, it's
exactly.
so stupid.
Yeah, that was bonkers for sure. Yeah, overall Browns. I mean, a little less impressive by the Steelers. The Steelers defense just absolutely beat them up, but they might be a little bit more on the better side than we thought. Maybe we'll have to put a pin in them. We'll see how it goes.
Put a pin in
This one
them.
was the big one. Dolphins and Broncos 70-20. Obviously the big news this is the 4th time in NFL history 70 points has been scored. I haven't seen it since the 60s. I mean, Jesus
Oh
Christ.
my god.
Mostert and the rookie running back Akame, just they both had 4
Oh,
touchdowns each. 5 rushing touchdowns in total, 5 passing touchdowns in total, so a total of 10. Jason Sanders had 10 points because he kicked all extra points and made them all. What a day. And again, I already talked about it in the Bears side of things. They're coming in, somehow gave up 70 points in the 3.5 point favorites against the Bears. That shows the Bears what's going on there. But yeah, it's just this was one. This was
insane.
the one for sure. We looked up every single time, and there's a touchdown. There's a touchdown. There's a touchdown. They were just running the same thing because he didn't want to show his whole repertoire in this beatdown. So
It was just
crazy.
back to back. Like there's that time when the Broncos scored, and then that guy had the breakout run. We were like, "There's no way they're gonna score again right now," and then
Yeah,
they scored again. It was crazy.
dude,
It's just
it was
insane.
literally like when you go go play on Madden mode. And you're like, I'm just gonna take it easy tonight. I want to relax, and you put it on rookie mode and just blow a team out by fucking
And
70.
fucking Tua after the game, we're not going out there trying to embarrass teams. That's what you did. That's what you fucking beat them by 50 points.
Yeah, I
So
mean, I'm sure that's not the goal, but it just kind of seemed to happen that way. When the other team doesn't show up, it's not your fault.
yeah, that's very true.
Yeah,
They can't. Yeah, it's not their fault. They're not playing
yeah.
defense.
You can't force Sean Payton to be a better coach. You can't force Russell Wilson to throw better balls.
Yeah, what's the question? Yeah, Sean Payton is after the game, them asking him and trying to ask him a question. What's the question? What's the question? And shut up. He's already pissed off,
Yeah, I
angry.
think
His
from
team
his
sucks.
yeah, his other soundbite was this was like the worst thing he's ever had to like watching it again was even worse or something like that. Good. Good. That's good. Relive it
Everyone thought
again.
that he was going to be the saving grace or something, which I thought he was going to be a good coach, but they just seem as awful as
I
last
mean, yeah,
year.
the writing was on the walls. Again, whether it was not true or not, like telling Russell Wilson to stop kissing babies and just focus on football and shit like that. Calling Nathaniel Hackett out earlier as well. Maybe just getting his comeuppance. Maybe the bad karma came back. Bad karma wrestling. Maybe the bad karma's shown his way.
That's
Let's
right.
see. Yeah. Patriots 15, Jets 10 in a really, really just
Wow.
disgusting game. Glad I was on the right side of gambling for this exercise, but just upset in general that people and myself had to watch it. Jets
Um,
fans, Jets fans like Bears fans should have just no hope. And how about Joe Namath calling out Zach Wilson, saying that he's seen enough of Zach Wilson. Anything from this game? What are our thoughts?
yeah, the Jets fans are that meme, like, oh no, we suck again. They had Aaron Rodgers and all this hype, and now they're just trash again. So it's just they're gonna be horrible all season again. I mean, they just lost to the Patriots, which they're a great team, but and yeah, sorry that they have to watch. You have to get Patriots and Jets 2 times every year, guaranteed, which
Yeah,
is
just again in
horrible.
like real
But
really bad conditioned weather too. So it was a slop fest. Yeah,
Zach
just
Wilson's not him, and it's
yeah,
I
and
mean
Robert
it's like
Saleh saying that he's gonna be the guy for the rest of the season. That's crazy.
hmm
Oh my god, the fact
they
that
just
there's
brought in Trevor Simeon, and it's like he's not going to start over Zach Wilson,
oh
so it's
we've seen that mess. He's awful. He is not. He is not worth. He's not worth the fucking stitching on his jersey. Is Trevor
oh
Simeon? So yeah, that's
yeah,
the
the Jets
again.
are in trouble right now. So
That's yeah, just to go from one extreme to the other, and that franchise for that fan base, brutal. Bit of a beatdown, huge beatdown. 37-3 for the Bills and the Commanders. The
hmm.
Commanders coming in, they were the 2-0 fraudulent team, possibly, or was this just the Bills being head and shoulders better than everybody else? Just a statement win type deal. Even though they were played angry against the Raiders last week, they played just as angry, if not even more, against these Commanders. They Sam Howell turned the ball over constantly. What were your thoughts in this game, if anything?
I think it's a little bit of both. The Bills are starting to turn it up as the season continues to progress, and the Commanders definitely are not a 2-0 team. So they just went off against a team that was way better than them and just got fucking destroyed.
Yeah.
So
Again, the Commanders 2-0 was the Cardinals and the Broncos. I say less.
wow.
Falcons and Lions. Lions get that win 20-6. Very low scoring on that end, but that's simply because the Falcons run game, if you take away the run game, they're going to struggle. That's kind of what my takeaway was. And the Lions just doing enough. I got a couple of people banged up, so I'm sure that at the end of the day, their goal was to just come out healthy for a lot of people. Jared Goff and Sam Laporta hooking up for a good long touchdown, and just overall decent game. Didn't get a lot of it again from the red zone aspect, just because not a lot of touchdowns, but just the Lions just taking care of business, and that just seems to be the thing. Any thoughts on this game?
Um, yeah, Falcons couldn't just get anything going, and Lions get a fucking W. Fuck
Yeah.
them. I don't
Tough
know
one for
where.
Bijan. I mean, total yards still pretty decent, but couldn't really get anything going consistently. Aiden Hutchinson probably had a nice little day. I think the one post was like, "This sucks. You got the white boy dancing on us," and it was some like page for Atlanta Falcons, like fan page or something like that. So that was pretty good. Yeah, just that'll be fun one to watch. Obviously, this Thursday night game with the Packers Lions is going to be very interesting and intriguing. Texans Jags. This was the what happened game of the week without a doubt. Texans 37, Jags 17. Trevor Lawrence and the guys just couldn't get anything going. Etienne, good decent little run game, but just some drop passes, everything else. CJ Stroud looks awesome. It's very good to watch that. Again, not a lot of turnovers in that really. I think maybe one interception by Trevor Lawrence, but that's just maybe some quarterbacks just have their boogeyman. I mean, the Bills, Josh Allen, someone with the Jets. I guess Trevor Lawrence with Houston. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think off the top of the dome. Justin Fields with everybody. It just seems to be the way that it goes. So that's yeah. So another tough one. Anything from this big huge upset, again, one of the bigger ones, plus 7.5. It was trickling down. Maybe I should have saw the signs. I didn't bet this game. I didn't take anything in general. The only thing I did take was Etienne's over on rushing, but yeah, I think maybe was the writings on the wall, or big upset in this one. Anything on this Texans Jags?
Yeah, it's an upset for sure.
Without doubt.
I was expecting Texans to win this game, so I'll call that an upset any day of the week. CJ Stroud continues to be playing his ass off, so already thrown more 300+ yard games than Justin Fields. Sorry to keep saying that, but
it happens.
Yeah, he's looking great.
Oh yeah. Honestly, he might be one of the best from that draft class. Chargers 28, Vikings 24. Someone had to blow this game, and it was the Vikings. I think what are we taking away? Just crazy that the Vikings are 0-3 now. Someone had to get a win. Both of these teams are 0-2 coming in here, shockingly. Justin Herbert, big day. Unfortunately, Mike Williams, torn ACL. But Keenan Allen even threw a touchdown. Crazy enough. Everyone was scoring. This was another big one to have some fantasy implications in. But Vikings, tough start, 0-3. Thoughts on Chargers Vikings?
Yeah, the Chargers usually blow games like this, but they're able to get the pick off Kirk
They
Cousins.
were trying to.
Yeah,
seemed like they were
almost
trying to.
did. They almost did, but able to stop him right at the end. And yeah, Vikings being 0-3, fuck them. If they're in our division,
Yeah, honestly, that's what I was saying. Good. That's always my response whenever they're talking. They're like, "Oh no, the Vikings, they should have been better." I'm like, "Fuck that! Fuck them. They're frauds. They are the frauds."
Yeah, their defense sucks, and
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins he's been great though. So I'll
Oh
give
yes,
him that.
that's a shame. And again, just another yard shy of back-to-back 150-yard games for Justin Jefferson. He's now tied with Wes Welker to open the season, 3 straight games with the most amount of yardage, set with however much they're at.
Wow.
So what? 157, 446 yards, 447 yards in 3 games is the most among wide receivers. So tied now with him and Wes Welker. Crazy. And he's 24 years old. That's Justin Jefferson. But let's see. That was that game. Seahawks Panthers 37-27. My only thing was maybe the Seahawks have found their stride? Question mark. I don't know. It was fun watching this offense and everything like that. Or were they just taking care of a Panthers team that's just less than usual? Andy Dalton was there though. They were moving the ball pretty decent. But anything on that game?
Yeah, I mean, I like the Seahawks, so they might have had a slow start, but they'll get it going. And yeah, the Panthers are not the best of teams, so a nice game just to start cooking it up and getting some people some touchdowns. So
yeah, definitely a surprise losing in game 1 to the Rams. Looked a little bit better, still a little shaky against the Lions, but again, that was a track meet. Anyone could have had that one, and then this one looked a little bit better. Looked like they knew what they were doing. So maybe in my mind, I don't think they're gonna be taking the reins from the 49ers. They look just so good. And but definitely another front runner for some possible wild card thing. So saying my Wi-Fi is unstable, so I'm gonna have to keep my eye posted on the Wi-Fi bar. Either way, still chugging along, finishing up with a couple more games. This was again one of the bigger upsets on the week. Cardinals 28, Cowboys 16. How about them boys? Wow. And that Cardinals head coach, he might be legit. Whatever he's talking about, those players are absorbing it. So what were our thoughts? Another, fat boy Mike McCarthy takes another huge loss. Dak crumbling under the pressure. Or is this card as embarrassing as it might come out of my mouth? Is the Cardinals just not as bad as we thought? What are we thinking? Hmm.
Yeah, the Cardinals have been a feisty team. They've never backed down all season so far, and they've fought in every game they've been in. And yeah, they might just be a sneaky team every week. They're gonna be battling. Dobbs is like Dobbs is cooking
Don't know
somehow. Like
how. Don't know
I
how.
don't-
Get him on the Bears. Don't know what's going on.
his jersey isn't even on in the team store. I saw him post a video today. He's like, I'm going to get my team jersey for my family, and I'm not even here. Come on, man.
Oh my
So,
God.
so the Cardinals have to fix that. But
Yeah.
he's been decent, and yeah, like my brother says, he's like, as a Bears fan, we can't have anything, and then I have to watch Joshua Dobbs cook
Yeah.
people up on Sundays. It's like
It's ridiculous. I hate it so much.
he's just
It's
he's been
nice. It's a
playing
nice
great.
story though. I know
Yeah,
he's a
it
good guy
is.
though. Can't take anything away from that in that sense.
So give him his props, and they've been playing well.
Yeah. Hitting the primetime games now. Sunday night, Steelers Raiders. Steelers taking a 23-18 victory. Little bit of a rough one, a rough watch, but strange time management from the Raiders. Or did you agree with them kicking the late field goal, relying on their defense?
No,
No? Okay. Well,
they
why
should have
not?
just scored. They
Yeah,
should have just went for it. You get all the way down there, just go for it.
yeah, I think so. For me, being selfish and have needed a couple points from Daniel Carlson, I was okay with the field goal. I was also okay with the field goal because their defense had been working. They still had all 3 timeouts at the time and the 2-minute warning. So it was really came down to just nut up or shut up time. I also get the argument of go for it, and even if you don't get it, they're at their own 2, they're at their own 1 potentially. But there was just some pretty good play calls by the Steelers, just enough to get it done and to get it to sneak out a win. Again, the Raiders aren't really going to be in any playoff talk in my mind, but this was just early enough that they could take their chance kicking the field goal and relying on their defense instead of having to these must win games right now. So I guess I know that's probably why I'm not a head coach, and in that sort of sense, maybe the difference in that killer instinct type deal. I could see it from both ways. The conservativeness, it killed you, and I could see why, but it wasn't a guaranteed win either way. Still down a couple of points, and that went either which way. So at least in my mind, again, they kick the field goal, they're down 5, they stop them, they can get the win instead of just getting the tie. So again, it's different. There's all tons of different ways. I'm not going to try and stick up for the Raiders and what they did over this fucking week. I don't care, but just sometimes people overreact and you gotta pull it back a little bit. Sometimes it's not the dumbest thing what they did. So yeah, that was basically that. Either way, still a pretty decent game. That Steelers defense is legit.
Oh yeah.
And Jimmy Garoppolo, boy, I think he took a couple stingers, took a couple dips to the head.
Oh yeah. I think he's in concussion protocol.
Yikes. Double dipping on Monday night. Eagles 25, Bucks 11. Call me crazy. I think the Bills still looked okay. Or excuse me, the Bucks, not the Bills.
But
Bills look great. The Bucks looked okay because they played arguably the best team in the league, just roster wise. They fell into the Eagles' trap of, damn, they're going to have the ball a ton. They're running a bunch. They don't need to score just because they have the ball for 8-9 minute drives. Baker, when he fell back, for a little bit in the beginning, like I said, when it was 3-3, very early on, Bucks were moving the ball down the field, and I think it's just not enough time to throw it deep downfield and stuff like that. Turning the ball over pretty early, a pick towards the end of the first half, and then a fumble by Rashard White kind of set the Eagles up to score a couple more times at the end, but. I mean, the Bucs defense was still there. Picked off Jalen Hurts twice. And then just the unstoppable fourth down conversion that is the push with this QB sneak. I mean, there's not really much you can do. So I'm not sold that the Bucks are like good world beaters, going to be top of the NFC still. Should be like still be looked at with this 2-1 is like they're a dominant 2-1. They'll be in contention for their division because it's so shitty, but this was good. They're going to be in more games than you think because of that defense is better. It's just a matter of can Baker flip it on and really, take the offense to the next level. That's going to be the challenge for this Bucks team. Either way, like I said, impressive on the Eagles side of things. They probably could have scored more, but because they handled the ball so well and just time of possession and shit like that, running the ball as much as they did. Another big game from DeAndre Swift. Try to get on AJ Brown the ball so many times. Just catch the goddamn ball in the end zone, man, and we'll all just be happy. Not for fantasy, but for gambling. But either way, apparently that was like the most taken prop in Illinois, according to DraftKings, unless they were lying to me. Just to move more props. Either way, like I said, dominant by the Eagles. Still looked somewhat decent for the Bucks. I wouldn't throw them out entirely. Any thoughts on this first half Monday night game?
Bucks are going to be a good team this year for sure. And yeah, Eagles are just, like you said, one of the better teams in the league. So they're able to get the job done at the end of the night. But yeah, Bucks they'll be a good team this year, man.
Depending on who you talk to, I'm sure they'll say either Niners and Eagles are either 1-2, 2-1, however they want to put that, and probably, I mean, before this loss to the Cardinals, they were saying the Cowboys, but man, I would say the Lions are up there for potentially decent teams if they look better. If fucking Love plays better, I hate to say it, the Green Bay Packers could be in that talk of just being in there, just not taking the next step, but just being in the NFC. The Seahawks can be the same deal, taking that next step and just being decent, being all the way well rounded. Yeah, I don't even know where I was getting on that. Yeah, that was that first half Monday night game. Second half Rams Bengals. The final was 19-16. I didn't have it in my notes because I was still writing when the game was finishing up. Overall, kind of maybe just because I didn't have anything going on my side of things, gambling. Or actually, no, I had the Bengals to cover 2.5, and they did. Even though the 2-2 last minute 2-2 Atwell garbage touchdown was like, yeah, who cares? Just very slow overall. Even with the Bengals getting the win, it showed me that the defense was there, but Joe Burrow is still not really ready to go. He threw like 40, 49, almost 50 passes, but didn't really look too good. For fantasy purposes, PPR purposes, Jamar Chase had a nice game, 12 receptions, 134 on the day. No score, though. Either way, did this prove it to you with the Bengals, or are you
No,
still some question marks?
they barely win.
Yeah.
They barely won.
Yeah. Against a Rams team that's underperform or overperforming in our sense, because no Cooper Kupp, got Puka Nacua and Tutu Atwell with I don't even know who else is on there. Kyron Williams running the ball now that they don't have Cam Akers. It's I don't know. This did not color me like convinced that the Bengals are back to being the top of the AFC team. If anything, the Browns might be more ready to go. I mean, they already beat the Bengals week 1. I don't know. The Ravens look a little shaky. This is going to be an interesting one. It's definitely going to be interesting. And then the Steelers, of course, they aren't the best either. They still got to prove something though. So that AFC North is going to be very interesting to watch the entire year. Of course, as all the divisions are. That about recaps week 3. Any other looming thoughts, questions, concerns with this week 3? I'll be talking, of course, Friday previewing spreads, totals, props for week 4, and probably my overall thoughts on those games as well. Anything to recap? Anything lingering on that?
I'm all good, man. Good
For
week
sure.
3.
Yeah. Again, interesting, intriguing, all over the place between underdogs covering and just outright winning and just the chaos that is the NFL. That is every time. So if you're good on that, we can step on and recap some fantasy in our Des Nuts League and then preview the next week, how we usually do around here. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Cool. Coolio. Well, by the skin of my nose, by the skin of my teeth, I just sweat it out a little bit because Jake Elliott, of course, he's probably number one in kicking. He was averaging like 14.5 points. He gets right around 12. This was no easy one. I'll take my side of our matchup, and then you can go ahead and take yours. Took a 49-16 point lead on Thursday night, but like usual, it's in the back of my head. I'm like, that's not good enough. That's never going to be good enough because there's a whole day on Sunday for teams to come back. Sure enough, you did neck and neck the entire day. I don't really know when. I don't really know where I kind of took the lead or kind of took the outright runaway, but with Kenneth Walker scoring 2, that helped. Just the sun god helping out as well. Just Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, he's got to get his head out of his ass and start performing. Maybe some time in London might be good on the boy. Maybe he can get involved. But either way, there was that. I had to worry about the Bills defense for you, just locking it down. Everybody involved, DK Metcalf. And of course, because Stephon Diggs' brother tore his ACL, he wanted to just tribute this game to him and just proceeded to just ball out. So that was nice. And then Dameon Pierce having a touchdown as well. Kept it as close as it did, 165-158 being the final. Could have went either way. It was a tough one. What were your thoughts on this one?
I lose again, then yeah. That's don't my team sucks. So
Oh, come
there
on.
we go.
You're gonna get Alvin
thoughts.
Kamara next week.
No thoughts.
No thoughts. Okay, well, I'm looking at our recap and optimized lineup. You would have whooped my ass. I could have had maybe a couple other options, but you had Jerome Ford. He went off. He would have helped for sure. And I'm like you said, I think that this proved to you that this is going to be a good enough shade for you. Like, I could start him next week, something like that.
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Well, I needed that one, of course. Another win right there. We'll look forward to next week. Got a big game against Sebastian. We'll
really
preview those.
that one.
We'll preview that in the upcoming. Who do you want to take on next? I got AJ and Allen. You got the battle of the Allens up in front of me next.
You can do whoever.
All right, for sure. I'll take this one right here. 152-135 in favor of Allen. AJ, this Allen in this sense. Let's see. It was a big Monday night, but a huge game from Davante Adams. 43 points. I mean, yeah, that was the Sunday night game. Having an absolute baller of a performance. 13 receptions, 172 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Turning back the clock was Davante Adams. Against Sam Laporta. Had a big one, had a big touchdown reception for AJ as well. And Rashid Shaheed getting his touchdown in the punt return of all things. So he got some 6 points there. On that side of things, flipping over to Allen, actually starting Jordan Love. I gave him a little bit of flack just because he was the Bears guy. He's got Justin Fields on his bench. I was trying to give him some shit, but it didn't really matter either way. Chris Olave had a nice game, as well as Travis Kelce having 2 touchdowns and Taylor Swift in the crowd for him. Unfortunately, on the IR goes Mike Williams, having his best game of the season early on. He tore his ACL. He will be done for the season. We'll have to see who steps up for the Chargers wide receivers in this upcoming week. Yeah, tough one. Either way, I'm trying to look and see. Didn't really look like they could have done anything on the bench side of things. So it might be an optimized lineup for Allen. Maybe throw in DJ Moore, but again, AJ could have also thrown in Alexander Madison. Either way, big one for AJ. He crawls up the ladder. He's 2-1, tying Allen at 2-1 as well. Just a couple of 2-1s and a 3-0, and there you are. That seems to be it right now. Any thoughts on that ball game?
Oh, no, not really. Yeah, you covered everything there.
For sure. Did you want to take on Sebastian and Ivan, or did you want to look at Pete and Dom next?
Yeah, I'll just say and do Sebastian and Ivan.
Go
That's
for it.
fine. Sebastian beats Ivan 176, 123. Sebastian has Herbert, Jacobs, Robinson all cooking. Keenan Allen getting 48 and Tyreek Hill getting 33.
Oof,
I mean,
disgusting.
that'll win you the game right there. So Ivan's team, some players doing decent. His kicker getting more points than most of his players, but Jamar Chase did decent. His kicker Myers gets 20. And he's had a lot of Zach Moss and even Tua, so
Yeah,
those
his
could have been
bench
the
went
differences.
off. I was doing the math. Over 100 points off the bench that could have been substituted in here, and would have been a big
Wow.
difference. Tua, Zach Moss, AJ Brown, Amari Cooper, 26 from Amari Cooper, AJ Brown at 23, Zach Moss at 23, even James Cook at 13, and Tua with 37. Playing Brandon Ayuk, inactive Brandon Ayuk was interesting. And then it kind of just reflected. So 176, 123 being the final right there. Yeah, no, that seemed to be it right there. Uh, Again, just tough one when it's a low scoring one for the Bengals. Other than Jamar Chase finally had a big one. That was a big one for sure. Almost 30 points, and I didn't even score a touchdown, so that was nice. Any lingering thoughts on this ball game?
Uh, it's funny that we gave Ivan Tua as just a bullshit pick, and he's one of the best quarterbacks right now.
Number one
So
quarterback, number one quarterback, number one in MVP odds already. It's bonkos.
Ivan left the draft early, and he said he wanted quarterback, so we all are just like, oh, just give him Tua, and he's
Yeah.
been so good. So,
We'll see how that one plays out there, Jim. Let's see. If you're good on that, we can finish up this last one. Pete and Dom, 164, 158 win for Pete, following the snicker. Some overall just spread out some points, but Raheem Mostert being the big one,
yeah, that's
45 points off of 4 total touchdowns, some big yardage, a couple of scores. Following that, not both 19 from Jalen Hurts and James Conner. Michael Pittman Jr. at 16. And yeah, just the defense, the kicker, the kicker Moody, 12.5, and the Eagles defense having 15. Big ones for on the stinky side of things. On Dom's side, 31 from Patrick Mahomes, just absolutely torched the Bears. Miles Sanders had a nice game. Of course, Justin Jefferson showing up having 30, finally scoring a touchdown, so that was good for him. Mike Evans also keeping it close for him at the time. Only keeping it down by 6, but yeah, Mike Evans 16, 17, Kirk and Christian Kirk having 15 as well. Close. It's a tough one, losing by that one, but as it's sometimes it's just shit happens. I'm trying to see optimized lineup. I mean, basically the same amount of points from Kirk. Maybe could have got a couple extra points out of Deshaun Watson, so probably would have been a little bit bigger for Pete on the outside looking in. So yeah, that was that. Some movement or all around the line, the standings. Like I said, 3-0, 2-1s across the board. 1-1-2, and then 0-3. That's just how it's still early on in the season. Still nothing really to make. Just a good sample size in 3 games. Any thoughts, questions, concerns before we hit some quick previews on what we're thinking in our current matchups?
no, I think I'm good.
Coolio. Did you want to go first and talk? Who you matched up against? Because I got Sebastian this week. Who you got this week?
I have Ivan.
Ooh, you got Ivan. Like I said, did you want to tackle you and Ivan first? Or did you want me to go ahead and go me and Sebastian?
I mean, I'll be quick.
Go for
I'm
it.
gonna lose.
Oh,
So
jeez.
We're both 0-3. I'm gonna be 0-4. Ivan's team is just gonna cook me. This Bengals are better, gonna have their best game of the season so far, and all of his players are gonna get like 20 plus
I had
points.
that same thought. As soon as I play Ivan, the Bengals are gonna go off
So
against me.
I just
God,
already my running backs suck. I'm an 8-man league, have no shot. I'm just fucked.
Alvin
So
Kamara's coming back. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be nice.
yeah,
You gotta be somewhat. You gotta look at something. That's gonna be nice to look at. Diggs in Miami. I think that's gonna be a nice little matchup for you as well. Of course, you got the hook right there. Uh, and then I mean, you already said it. The Bengals do have a favorable matchup. All three of them. The Bengals are playing the Tennessee Titans, and yeah, the Amari Cooper had a nice game. Jerome Ford had a decent little game, and so did Deshaun Watson. So yeah. Did you have anything else? I felt like I completely interrupted you on this one.
no, not really.
Okay.
Just gonna get cooked up.
Yeah.
So
For you and me both, I'm gonna still be keeping my eye out on Austin Eckler because, like I said, I got him in my other league for my brother, so that's been a pain. And I'd be like, oh, cool, I wish I could be like, oh, I got Joshua Kelly, but he's been absolute dog shit too. So I don't really know what to do. Yeah, I don't know. At least in that league, I had Raheem Mostert, so cha-ching, I guess. I don't know. That was nice. Let me go. I don't want to linger on that too much. I can go ahead and quickly go through mine as well with me and Sebastian. This is gonna be tough. This is gonna be a tough matchup. Sebastian's at the top of the scoring league. I think he's number one in scoring. Yeah, he's outscoring me by about 20 points or so to take the top. 488 to 463 on the year so far. It's going to be a tough one. He's all his players come out to play. Favorable matchups all around the board. The only thing I can hope for is maybe Bijan Robinson gets some what's it called jet lag and doesn't do too well up in London. I got two players going over there as well. They'll basically be there for 2 weeks because they got another matchup up against I think the Bills come in there in the following week. So there you go. That'll be interesting. Either way, just relying on my same group. Might be flip flopping. Looking around for some other squads. Maybe a toss up on my defense. We'll see. I mean, Pittsburgh against Houston or KC against the Jets doesn't really sound like it can't go wrong. You know, Jets still haven't. If the Jets are going to push out Zach Wilson, I think it's a favorable matchup for the defense. But that's just me. Either way, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be a neck. I wouldn't doubt that Sebastian's team will probably run away with it like he has been in these recent weeks, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a big, high scoring affair between myself and Sebastian. So all I can ask for is points, and a dub. So let's try and get another one. Either way, that's that matchup. Want me to take the reign? You want to take Stinky Pete and AJ, or did you want to talk Allen and Dom?
um, I yeah, I see AJ and Pete. So
Okay, go for it.
let's see. All right, yeah, there's pretty close projections here. AJ, Pete, both 2-1. AJ's got Lamar, Derrick Henry, Swift, Adams, Devontae Smith, Laporta is starting,
Makes sense.
Godwin, Shaheed, Justin Tucker, Dolphins. All right, good little lineup there. Yeah, and yeah, Laporta's been doing very decent.
And
So
he's the number two tight end on the league in the year so far.
yeah, starting him over Kyle Pitts, making the move. Pete's got Hurts, James Conner and Gibbs, and Pittman and Addison, and then Waller and Mostert coming off a big game, and McLaurin, Jake Moody, Eagles defense. Peach looks like he's got his optimal lineup set in, so should be a good one here. Only 1 point projections between each other, so it should be a nice game.
Definitely. Yeah, also going to keep an eye on just maybe. Yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting indeed. It's just Jahmyr Gibbs, maybe what happens between that game and in the Green Bay Packers. If Raheem Mostert, I'm not seeing a repeat 45-point game, but it'll be very interesting to see how he and Akime now split, if that's going to be the case. And yeah, over on AJ's side of things, maybe hopefully a bounce back for Derrick Henry, only getting 20 rushing yards last week, and DeAndre Swift not getting the recognition. I think that projection is gonna probably go up a little bit playing against the Commanders. How's that sound? Anything else on this ball game?
I'm good.
Cool, 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 cool. I can wrap her up with Allen and Dom on the quicks. We got a good one. We got a juicy one here. We got Dom holding. He's got Patrick Mahomes going with Miles Sanders and Khalil Herbert right now. CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, which again, just a dynamite tag team wide receiver duo right there. Hawkinson, another. Dom's got a slew of Vikings right now. You put it in the chat. He's got Kirk Cousins, he's got Justin Jefferson, he's got Hawkinson, and now just recently traded to the Vikings. We didn't get to this. Cam Akers to the Vikings did not play this week. Probably looking forward to next week. So, maybe Dom looking to trade one of these Vikings guys. I don't know. Send me a trade. I'll take Justin Jefferson off your hands, no problem. T.J. Hawkinson, Mike Evans, and Christian Kirk in his flex. Harrison Butker going for the kicker, and 49ers defense going for Dom. On the flip side, Allen's going with Jordan Love as of now, right now, going Thursday night. Gus Edwards, he's in concussion protocol. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully, the Gus gets on the bus and he's playing. Tony Pollard, Chris Olave, Puka Nakua, Travis Kelce, currently in IR, Mike Williams. So I'm sure Allen will be starting Mike Williams the rest of the way out. And T. Higgins in there, the flex position. Kicker, Young Hoku, Cowboys defense. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be a good one. And, again, flip flopping around. I'm sure some positions will be flipped and made, but yeah, this ought to be good. Looking at it, Chris Olave against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers ought to be nice. If Devonta Smith and AJ Brown had a decent little game, I'm sure Chris Olave might. But depends on who's throwing in the ball. On Dom's side of things, of course, you can't go wrong with Justin Jefferson, but that is a layup. As of right now, I will say Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk gets it done in Wembley. He will get it done in London, across the pond. Maybe he scores a touchdown or something like that. He's been looking pretty solid for Jacksonville. Any thoughts on this game? Anybody point sticking out at you that's probably going to do well? What are you thinking? Oh, I got you muted right now. I don't know if you.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even realize that. Kelsey, he'll be cooking probably again, and I mean Justin Jefferson for Dom, just as he's been doing great all season. So,
Oh yeah, without a doubt. So let's see. Nothing too crazy on the waiver wires. Those will be going through later tonight, like usual. Let me see. Yeah, anything else lingering on fantasy? Anything we didn't really get to? I'm just trying to think out loud. Yeah. Standings 0.4, nothing too crazy on the nothing too crazy on fab spending or nothing like that as of late. Still got ways to go. So if you're good on fantasy, we can wrap her up with some quick MLB, some quick NBA, and then some quick wrestling. How's that sound?
yeah, that sounds fine.
Cool, cool, cool. What are your thoughts on the Bulls potentially getting Damian Lillard? Just gonna go right into it. No transition, no smooth nothing. You're raw dogging it. Bulls potentially getting Lillard. Thoughts?
Yeah, it would be awesome. He's one of the best 3-point shooters, if not the best in the league. I don't know what they would have to give up for him or what they talked about, but it would be great. I don't know. It would just depend on what we gave up, I would say, of course, but
Those are
yeah,
mostly what my questions were, is what do we give up? Does that really put the Bulls in contention necessarily? And maybe on the East side of things, that definitely helps. But if you're giving up a key piece like Zach LaVine, is it almost a wash? I don't know. It's tough to say. Do you want to see this move being made? I think so, without a doubt. Having a guy like Damian Lillard to root for would be tons of fun. It would be worth the price of admission to watch him play 41 times out of the season at the United Center for sure. But again, does it depending on who we give away, who the Bulls give away, is it almost a wash type deal? I don't know. It's tough to say. And again, Apparently, from reports, the Raptors are the front runners for Damian Lillard, which is disappointing to hear. Considering again, we want something to root for. We want the Bulls something to look forward to fan base wise, because we got copy paste. We got the same roster from last year essentially. So I don't know. Again, not disappointed, but just I want to see it, but I want to see some sort of other game plan layout. If he's just coming in here, I don't see the Bulls just, oh, here's a title right away. Here's a full path to the NBA Finals right away, just because Lillard's here. It's a tough go. It's a tough ask. But of course, I'm on the side of get him here. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah. Uh, but yeah, I just it's tough. And again, hearing that the Raptors of all teams are the front runners, that's boring. That's so boring. I don't want to see him in the Raptors. Ugh.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll try and do his best and get the North winning again, but that's just as a basketball fan, as a Bulls fan, that's not what we're looking forward to. Uh Anything else lingering on Damian Lillard before we move on to anything else?
Uh, I mean, yeah, it would be awesome, but we'll just have to see what happens. It's just
Yeah.
reports. So
Yeah, again, it's really it's just tough talking about basketball right now with it's football starting up. There's really nothing, literally nothing going on basketball. As I think preseason starts up a little bit, maybe towards the middle of November or something like that. No, that's wrong. I think the preseason games start up because end of October is usually when basketball season starts. But regardless, it's a tough ass to sit here and talk about basketball for an extensive period of time when it's not a foregone conclusion that anyone's going anywhere. So just putting our smoking a little hopium, I suppose. That's what we got to do here a little bit. If you're good on that, we can transition into a little bit of baseball. Maybe a small farewell on the Sox, but I got some MLB Flyers. I know ball games are going on. These might change by the time this episode comes up, but I got at least two that I'm willing to stick my neck out and say like, hey, this isn't the worst thing to talk about. Get on that. Ready to talk some baseball really quick.
yeah.
Alrighty. Before I get into the Flyers, just wanted to say shout out to the White Sox for an absolutely abysmal season. Raise it high. I got the Yerminator shirt on just because I wanted to feel a little bit nostalgic, a little bit from when they weren't completely ass, from when they actually won the division. Oh, God, this is just disgusting that the Twins won so easily this year with like 87 wins. Just so gross. This division is just so awful from top to bottom, not just the White Sox, just the Royals, the Tigers, the Guardians. No one should be able to go in no team from this division should be able to go to the playoffs, but it is. They are. Just overall, I'm not going to sit here and harp too long. I've had all season to do that. You can click back to any one of my long-standing rants that I've had on the White Sox. Disappointing from top to bottom. Not what White Sox fans and the Sox in general wanted at all. I'm just glad at the very least the Kenny Williams and the other fuck is gone. Again, maybe Chris Getz might not be the best guy. He might be a puppet, but at least we know that there's just one person running the show. That's the least I could barely say. Clevenger might have been our best pitcher. That's crazy to think. Luis Robert, shout out to him. Andrew Vaughn, thanks for coming out. Yohan Moncada, man, you're awful. Michael Kopech, somehow, some way, figure it out. Get out of the bullpen. You're not going to be an ace, though. Everybody else, I don't know. You tried. I'm just glad Dylan Cease didn't break his back for this entire fucking squad. And even towards the end, he kind of petered out. Overall, disappointing, and it shows that they're getting what $1 tickets for Thursday as a thank you, but just hey, someone's got to show up for this last game, or not even the last game of the season. There's still another series against the San Diego Padres, who they might be out of playoff contention too by the end of this episode, because they're like plus 100. They lost last night. Big hoopla. Whatever. Sox are bad. We've known that for a ton of time now, even before the All-Star break. Shot themselves in the foot, continue to shoot themselves in the foot. I didn't even talk about how terrible Tim Anderson was. I mean, that's just so much to get to. But that's a whole nother episode. I just figured for the sake of by the time this episode comes out and by the time the season ends, won't have we'll be able to talk about it until next time. So I figured this was a good time to do it. Quick little recap. Sox, they sucked. And is there any hope in the next season? Sure, we'll see. I just got to spend. You got to spend. Maybe Chris Getz actually is able to pull the trigger and do some stuff that he wants to do. I'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, just hopefully all those trades worked out on our side too. So crossing our fingers. Still gonna put the White Sox on. Still bleeding black and gray, silver, whatever you want to call it. That's just how I'm gonna be forever. The White Sox are my squad. They're my team forever. Don't care. It is what it is. Like I said, I'll take the L's just because I know the W's when they come eventually, they're gonna be so much sweeter, knowing that I stuck through it and everybody else. Not just not a shot at anybody, just other people, fair weather fans. They went by, they enjoyed other things. So I stuck around and I watched my guys. So it sucks. It sucks. It sucks. It truly does. But any rest in peace final thoughts on the 2023 White Sox from this year?
Better luck next year, maybe.
Yeah.
It's why goodbye, Jake Berger.
Yeah.
What the
let's limit the distractions off the field between just I mean the head coach, the fucking just there's a ton of controversies, everything which way. And I mean, again, if at the end of the day, the worst thing that happened was some backup guy that we traded away didn't get his name on the big Titantron. If that's what everyone wants to be sad about, that's fine. Also, if they want to backtrack and now say all of a sudden that it wasn't safe, it wasn't a good idea for the White Sox to keep playing after that gun went off. Dude, I mean, again, we're just living it. You can't go back in time and shit like that. There was no threat. There was nothing. No one was getting robbed. It was a freak accident. It's not going to happen again. So whatever. This is still my squad. We're not harboring fugitives. We're not harboring. I'm right up until now. So watch this day. But up until this point, haven't been harboring any fugitives. Haven't been harboring anybody that's a little too touchy feely, if you know what I'm saying. They don't abuse their spouses. They're not hurting their children. We some decent characters. At the end of the day, yeah, it is what it is. Tough break, tough year. Not gonna linger too long. Got some more stuff to get to on here. Yeah, you're good on the White Sox.
Yeah,
cool.
It's not much to say that we haven't said already.
Absolutely. I'm just at this point I'd just be going in circles. Onward to a couple more, just looking into the playoff things, maybe looking in your wallet. You got some Flyers. I just have the full list from all the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 teams that are still in contention as I'm still talking right now. But again, maybe one more game or two, and the Giants and the Padres can be gone because they're both plus 100,000 right now to win the World Series. So, not really focusing on those two teams. Not really focusing on any other teams higher than that. Of course, you can take the chalk. You can do Braves plus 310, Dodgers plus 400. Those are going to be the cheapest. This is going to be the best time to get those, I suppose, because as they go through the playoffs, they're going to get those odds are going to go down and down and down. So this is probably the best time to get those. But if you want to take a stab at the Orioles at plus 650, Rangers plus 700, Rays 950, and the Astros at 1,000. Not the A's, excuse me, not the A's. Not a team that gave Miguel Cabrera an $83 bottle of wine, or however much it was for his final game. It's what was it? Billy likes to keep the money on the field.
Yeah.
Astros plus 1,000. One of my Flyers was the Phillies plus 1,300. Right around this time they got hot, similar fashion, doing pretty decent. Maybe just Troy's talking too much in my ear. Maybe I'm seeing too many Bryce Harper home run highlights. I think they're not the easiest to get through right now. So a Phillies Flyer isn't the worst. I like yeah, that was one of them I had. Following after that, Blue Jays plus 1,600, Twins plus 1,800, but throw that one out. That's a donation. The Brewers, I just found out Josh Donaldson is on the team, so they're out plus 1,900, not getting a dollar from me. In one game, the Mariners went from plus 2,300 to plus 3,500 just from losing one game to the Astros last night. So keep watching out for that. They're 1.5 games out of the wild card. It's a close. They're the only team left in the AL that isn't like, basically set ready to go. After that, D-backs plus 3,500 as well. My other flyer, again, call me crazy, one game out of the wild card as of right now. Marlins plus 5,000, playing some good ball, have some pretty decent arms. Bill told us their last 6 are 3 against the Mets and 3 against. Oh man, there's another lollipop team like the Rockies or something like that they got coming up. But either way, and then the Cubs had the Braves and the Brewers in the next 6. So it's tough. It's gonna be tougher for the Cubs than it will be for the Marlins. The Cubs are plus 5,500 after that. And again, a little crazy, a bit of a donation after that. Reds plus 40,000, Padres and Giants plus 100,000. I had my sights on plus 5,000 for the Marlins and then plus 1,300 from the Phillies. Were there any other odds or any other names that stuck out to you? Maybe that you're licking your chops, or hey, that shouldn't be that price. Maybe it's too high or too low. What were your thoughts on that? Maybe if you need, I can list off the other I can list off the odds too.
Yeah, I didn't really get to see them. I'm just, cause I'm not the, huge biggest MLB fan, so I didn't
Yeah.
check to see
This
what
is just fun to see, get some flyers going, get a head start on some money and some shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, just maybe something to look forward to and root for during the postseason. At least those were my two with the Farlands, the Millies and the Marlins. I guess that's me mixing them together. The Farlands. Uh, the Rays aren't the worst decision, but the pitching is a little lax right now, so I can see why that is at plus 950. The Rangers are red hot right now at plus 700, so this might be a good time. This is right around the time the Phillies got hot, and they were in the World Series last year. That's when a lot of people are alluding to, so plus 700 might not be the worst thing either. Yeah, everything else, between the Cubs, as much as other people want to be hopeful, donation. I like the Marlins. That's my as far as I will go. Just maybe sprinkle a fiver on that. But Diamondbacks, Mariners, Brewers, Twins, Blue Jays, I don't really trust. And it would have to be the Phillies through the Braves, and of course that's when you get really chalky. That's who I would probably for sure throw some money on. If you're good on that, I don't know. Like I said, if you had any final thoughts lingering on that, we can just head into some wrestling, quickly recap that, and call it a day.
Yeah,
All
sounds
right,
good to me.
coolio. I don't know if my hopefully my links pop up for me. I don't know if it's gonna. There we go. Actually, it will. Oh, that works. Let's take a quick gander. Yeah, this was Jake Hager. Just getting into the wrestling side of things. Jake Hager retired from MMA. He said he was getting screwed over by Bellator. I don't know if you saw that. That was all going on, but the big wrestling news, of course, was just getting our reactions to WWE's releases. They also added Jade Cargill officially today. While I bring up the release list, what's your just again official thoughts on Jade Cargill going to WWE?
I think she'll do good getting in the performance center over there. So wish her the best of luck
I
with
did
all
see
of
that.
that.
It was just they're going crazy. She made it safely through the NXT parking lot. She made it through the Performance Center parking lot because apparently they got some crazies over there that want to attack the wrestlers.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but I'm on the side of things again. Good for her. Get paid. She's got to hit the Performance Center, get on NXT for a little bit. She needs a little bit of work, needs a little bit of the facial emotions, like selling a little bit type deal, a little stiff, but overall can get better, I think. So there's that. I can read all the names, but I think I'll just hit the big ones that we're talking WWE releases. Let's see. Dolph Ziggler Elias, so that it means also Ezekiel. I guess that was his brother. I suppose is also gone. Mustafa Ali, Shelton Benjamin. Talk about that. The faction of Top Dollar, or whether that was just one guy, Flop Dollar. They're all gone. Rick Boogs, Dana Brooke, Mansoor is gone. Mace is gone. Shanky, the big guy from the underground fight club that they had. And then finally the last big one. I'm just looking through the Brooklyn Barlow. I don't know who the hell that is. Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle was the final big announcement. Maybe I'm overlooking like Emma, or that was the one tweet you sent me was like, I can't wait for Royal Rumble. Oh wait, never mind, just got cut. It's like, oh
Yeah.
god, Jesus Christ. So just reactions to any of those, and maybe any ones that I didn't really get to. But to be honest, I mean, Dabakota, Ulysses Leon, Daniel MacArthur. I don't think you're not gonna lose any sleep over those names. Yeah, any from those big names, like I said, from Dolph Ziggler, Elias, Mustafa, Shelton Benjamin, and then Matt Riddle. Do you plan on seeing any of these names moving around? Do you want to see any of these other names in AEW, New Japan, Impact? Or I mean, there's also some have said that they might be fired for now, or not fired, but released for now, but potentially coming back later on. What are your thoughts, just reactions from all these names?
Yeah, some surprising. Dolph Ziggler for sure. I thought he would be around for his whole career, but I hope that if he does leave, he comes to AEW. And Shelton Benjamin, I think like I would just like him them in AEW because of mentorship for younger
Yes,
guys, or
yes.
maybe
Shelton
they don't
Benjamin would
even
be
need
a
to
very good
wrestle.
get as a coach. I think he would be such a good coach. I
So
think he's
even
yes. No, go ahead. Sorry.
no, you go ahead.
No, yeah, no. I was just gonna keep piggybacking off Shelton Benjamin. Just keep complimenting the fact that one, he would have good matches if they wanted him to stick around, or just again, he could coach, be a mentor. But I think he might be one of those like done as a talent, but bring him back as a coach for WWE. I think he just might be knows where his bread is buttered in that sort of sense. But you did have
Yeah.
that little stint on the ROH scene, so you can't not gonna go either way. What were any other names or big ones to you?
Mustafa Ali finally gets cuts as he wants for years, so
That's
I
true. Yeah.
and we'll see what he ends up doing. But I mean, yeah, other people, I don't know, like Dana Brooke, it's like, it's understandable. There's some that are understandable.
Yeah, again, like the Mansoor, Mace, Dabakota, like yeah, I get it. I understand. uh yeah, again, some of them might be returning in some sort of way. Maybe that's a big return on screen like Naya, or it's maybe just a behind the scenes look, or they're in a different company. We'll just have to keep our eye looking in. Yeah, I think Dolph Ziggler was the big one for me and for everybody else. Just seeing him being there as long as he was, almost over 20 years, if not more. Uh, being taking as the Spirit Squad, but then getting a serious role, actually having the World Heavyweight title on different occasions. Serious builds around him and just crazy. But him and his brother on being the elite more often, so it makes sense. What was that? He was being the elite more often than he was on Raw or SmackDown. So more opportunity. It's a big chance. I think I would want, if in terms of like, I guess making a list of who I would want over who. I would think Dolph Ziggler would be top dog. I think that would be the top get. After that, I suppose Riddle, but he's not a must for me. I don't need to see Riddle on a weekly basis. I can't say it myself, but I've heard Mustafa Ali behind the scenes has been a little bit weird, but I'm sure he can find his way in Impact. I think that would be a nice little spot for him. If not New Japan, get a little stint there. I think that was about it talent wise. I gotta let me again because my brain is that of a squirrel. I gotta really quick check the list one more time. But yeah, Dolph Ziggler being the big one. Shelton Benjamin would have been a big get in that sense. And then Elias, anything with Elias? Do we need more Elias?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's not a good performance. I think he'll be working his way in the music industry.
Yeah, Just stick to local bars and stuff.
There you go. I say, I travel through time and space.
Yeah, singing
Through
his
the human.
songs.
Oh yeah, that'll live forever. That's
Oh,
amazing. Grand Slam was this week. I'm not going to sit here and do every single match, every single thing. I actually missed most of Rampage and Collision just out doing stuff. That's just how we be. We're busy sometimes. MJF retains. No real big announcements. I'm just still looking forward to seeing. Hopefully, Andrade and Jay White was nice. Again, I'll be still replaying. It's on the DVR for Collision. But overall, just Dynamite was nice. That was the thing I did catch from start to finish. I heard the 2-hour Rampage and having the Young Bucks be it's again, hopefully, sorry, this ain't spoiler to you, but Young Bucks are the ROH Trios tag team title holders
yeah,
now.
I did see that.
I did like one person's post, but they end up somewhat contradicting themselves or just not really proving themselves right. They're like, man, it's crazy how the Ring of Honor title winners are better or just as better, if not better than the AEW title holders. And they're like, they said MJF and Eddie Kingston are equivalent. Sorry, no. As much as I love Eddie Kingston, and that was the big one. Claudio and Eddie opening it up was awesome on Wednesday night. But no, MJF is head and shoulders above everybody, not just Eddie Kingston, above everybody. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Kenny Omega, just everybody right now. He's the man. And then they're like but FTR is the better tag team titles compared to the other two. I don't know. It was a dumb post. I don't even know why I'm bringing it up in the sense, but it's good. I mean, just overall, I'm trying to also backtrack anything else. Was there anything else from this week that stuck out to you? Big Grand Slam week.
Uh, the show could have been better, honestly.
Which one?
Grand Slam in general on Wednesday, but
Okay.
yeah, but it's
Where was
can't
it
every show
lacking?
can't be
Where
great.
did you think it was lacking?
Um, Chris Jericho and Sammy botches all that just wasn't the
Oh yeah,
best,
that
and
was he kind of flipped. He kind of somewhat made it into a good recovery, but he definitely botched hard as shit. Jericho did. Yeah, he was a little blown up in the beginning.
stuff that was botched, and I mean, not John Moxley's fault. He had a concussion, but
Oh yeah.
that was messed up, and so yeah, there's just it's kind of a couple things that just didn't make it feel as big as I felt. But I mean, every show can't be huge, so.
Of course. Yeah. Overall, pretty decent. I know Christian is now officially the TNT title holder. They had a little 3-way scramble, and I wish they kept it on Luchasaurus, but I guess for the sake of storyline, you got to do that. I didn't see who won the. Oh, okay, cool. Looks like I don't know if I want to. Do you want to hear Rampage spoilers? Do you care?
Yeah, I know all that. I
Oh,
think I
okay.
saw that stuff.
So it looks like the Righteous are going to be the number one tag team title contenders for the Ring of Honor tag team titles, which, okay, yeah, that's fine. I like that. Get those titles off them, put them on the Righteous or something like that. Give them a push. I don't mind that. Yeah, overall, pretty decent. Let's just really quickly get into WrestleDream if you're good on the Grand Slam weekend overall.
Yeah.
Uh, this is a stellar card in my mind. They can't really go wrong ever. We'll hit the high spots, but I mean we've kind of hit these already mostly. I will start from the bottom actually because those are the newer ones in my mind. Young Bucks versus the Guns versus the Lucha Bros versus Hook and Orange Cassidy. Winning team gets a future AEW World Tag Team title match. Okay, exciting. Get it. One of those things where it might be a cluster of people, but you're just getting all the names on the card. That's fine. I can take that. It's going to be a mess. Might not be make for the best match, but it's going to move a little storyline. Any thoughts on that?
So Young Bucks winning. That's
You
my
would think you would
thought.
hope so, maybe, right? I don't know if I hope they don't push Cassie and Hook. That would be crazy. Maybe the Guns, but yeah, if any, it should probably be the
Oh yeah.
Bucks. I know they just won the trios tag team titles, but I
Oh
don't know.
yeah, that's
It'd
true.
be it wouldn't be the worst thing to give them both, or not give them I would give an opportunity for both. But then again, they did just
They
have
also
Young
did
Bucks.
just wrestle them,
Yeah.
so I
So
don't know if
okay.
they're winning anymore.
Okay, yeah, I'm kind of talking myself out of it. I guess it might be Cassie and Hook, son of a bitch. Statlander, Julia Hart, not gonna really worry about that one too much.
Where'd
Uh,
that come from?
yeah, it's just for the TBS title.
Good luck.
Kingston and Shibata versus excuse me, I thought they were in a tag team. It's Kingston versus
That's them
Shibata for
too.
the Ring of Honor and the New Japan Strong Heavy World Title.
Wow.
Kingston, I think, will retain. This ought to be a good chop fest. Anything else from that one?
That'll be a fight.
That'll be a sight to
A
see.
fight.
Oh yeah, for sure. Darby and Christian Cage in a 2 out of 3 falls match. I thought they were trying to seal the ribbon on this one, but I guess it's
I'm
anything to
just gonna save Christian.
You heard it here first. Jericho and the Golden Lovers, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi, trying to take on the Don Callis family. He's trying to get all their family members back. Takeshna, Sammy Guevara, and Will Ospreay taking on Jericho and the Golden Lovers. I actually like this. How we feeling on this one?
That'll be awesome.
I
There's a
love
lot of great talents in
this
that.
Don Callis bit is so good. I love that he's stealing everyone's friends and family, and it's just it's just his fucking theme song. Just like you hear that and you're like, oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's like they've got a great thing going with that right now.
There we go. Anything to get MJF on the card. Cole and MJF versus Aussie Open for the AEW. What? Oh, this is typo, excuse me.
Isn't it the Righteous?
Yeah,
Didn't
it'll
they
be the
win it?
Righteous versus MJF and Adam Cole for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles. It'll be FTR versus Aussie Open for the AEW Tag Team titles. Both will be good.
Ooh.
FTR versus Aussie Open might steal the show. Just saying right then and there. Two huge tag team matchups. If you wanted to take on both or just comments on both of them.
Well, I'm happy the Righteous one because I can hear bow, bow, bow. I don't know how to snap, so so I'm happy they won, and the guy would just be. I don't even know who they are, but I love their gimmick. The guy just walks down the ramp with his fucking.
I wish I knew the names go by my side, but I know who he is. He was formerly in the Kingdom with Matt Taven. They had a big falling out, and they're actually good friends. So that's again good that the Righteous are getting a push still in my mind. Do they win?
Hopefully they
Possibly.
lose.
You think they lose? I
don't. I guess
get these titles off
Honor.
MJ. It's gonna push. I don't think that gets it off them. I think the Kingdom gets them, and that's how Roderick Strong, Matt Taven, and I always forget the guy who's married to
Mike.
Mike Bennett.
His name's
Mike Bennett.
Yeah, Mike Bennett.
Yeah, next strong baby, next strong all the time. Other one, honestly, this could potentially. I just talked about FTR, Aussie Open potentially stealing the show. These last three could all steal the show. Hangman, Swerve Strickland. I've said it on Bad Karma Wrestling. Check that out on X Bomb Sports late on Fridays now. Playing it back on the YouTube show. Swerve has probably been putting out his best wrestling, his best promotions, and all that bullshit. In my mind, this should be a huge win for Swerve. I hope they go that route. Hangman he's had the world title already. It doesn't hurt him. Like if it's shown anything, like I said, the Young Bucks take losses, doesn't hurt them. They're still the Young Bucks. Kenny Omega takes losses, he's still Kenny Omega. I feel like it's almost at that point where Hangman can take a loss and it won't hurt him entirely. There's no real big momentum for him right now. This would be the world for Swerve Strickland to get a big win and a big pay-per-view. This is the win for me, Swerve Strickland.
Wow,
in my mind.
Yeah, with that reasoning, yeah. How can you go wrong with that?
I mean, he's putting out producing some of his best work right now. Give him the opportunity, give him a mic, and I swerve when I drive. Fucking swerve when I drive. God, I love that thing you sent me. He's like, men love hearing one thing. It was that. You know it. They only respond to one sound. Finally, most likely the main event. Can't go wrong if it's not. Bryan Danielson, Zack Sabre Jr. It's going to be a huge technical fest. It's going to be great. Can't wait. I mean, there's not enough words, not enough time in the day to say how awesome this match is going to be. Seattle, Washington, Bryan Danielson's hometown. So I'm
Wow.
sure he probably gets the win. If not, big rub for Zack Sabre Jr.
No one ever wins in their hometown. What do
That's
you
true.
mean?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I guess unless you're CM Punk, but even he dropped it and lost a couple too. Either way, stacked card. Bryan Danielson, Zack Sabre Jr. Thoughts on that?
It'll be awesome.
Climate Pledge Arena.
It'll be fucking awesome. That's my fucking thought. This whole I didn't know how to feel about this pay-per-view at first when they announced it. I was
it came
like,
together.
what the fuck is WreslteDream? But it's up there for maybe one of the more stupid names, like Great Balls of Fire, or it's just like WreslteDream. But it's gonna be a great show, and we're gonna be there Sunday watching football and watching WreslteDream. There, hopefully some of our buddies will be there. They'll come for football and they'll stay for WreslteDream and be able to see some great wrestling with some football. So
I'm gonna be that Kevin James picture. It's gonna be, you're really gonna stick around for 7 hours of football and wrestling? Yeah, you know I am. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be hold all day. I'm probably being that we'll probably be at your place. I'm just going to step outside, just walk around for a little bit. We'll have to take a break in between the 3:00 games and the nightcap to just we gotta take a group walk around the park or something like that. I know you got a little nice little walking path down the block from your place. So
Sundays are great. I mean, that's everyone, we're older. We all got our own things going on. We're busy throughout the week, but we're all able to come together Sunday, and we all hang out the most of the day Sunday watching football. And, it's always a fun part of the week. So
absolutely,
this will just make it that much better.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Nothing. Yeah, nothing really to compete with. I'm trying to. What was the night game? Sunday's Chiefs and Jets. Gonna be a little bit of a beatdown.
It would have been fun if Rogers was there.
Yeah, that would have been a big competition for sure for some free watching and a pay-per-view. But AEW might.
That's what I bet the schedule makers are like. Fuck, the Bears suck. The fucking Jets don't have Rodgers. Like, to put the Bears in 5 primetime games. They got the Jets in a bunch. They're probably like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, dude.
They literally turned the Bears game off of Fox. They turned it off and put on the cow, whatever other game was on. I saw someone tweet about it for all the Chicago. We still got it because we're in Chicago, but like the national, everywhere else, Fox turned them off and put on a different game.
Makes sense. I mean, the other ones were somewhat more competitive, and then even the report, if you saw in the tweet, like leaving local Chicago bars were turning off the game. It was
America's game of the week.
It was America's ass whooping of the week. Yeah, according to shout out to our buddy Bill. Yeah, it was the execution of the week. That was the best way to put it. Yeah, that was a horrible. And again, we knew it. We knew coming in. Bears fans knew it was going to be an ass whooping, but just you got to show up somewhat. Fuck, that was awful. Yeah. Either way, I'll be talking more about that in a little bit on previewing Bears on Friday after we talk wrestling on Bad Karma Wrestling on X-Bomb Sports. This about wraps up episode 37. Check, please, from the appetizers. Thank you much. Those were delicious. Everything was great today. Let's see. Got anything for the people at home, Mikey guy?
I hope everyone has a great rest of the week. Good luck in all of your fantasy leagues. I know I'm going to need it. Sorry that I get really depressed when I talk about fantasy because I try to avoid the app lately. And then when I open it, I just get sad seeing what could have been. I know, I get it. Everyone can tell when we talk about fantasy, I'm just depressed, sad, looking away. It's hopefully something can change. I wish everyone the best in their respective leagues, but go Pack, go, man. Got my stuff. I'm going to have all my shit on Thursday, ready to watch Jordan Love cook up some Lions and eat them covered in cheese.
Yeah, at the
So,
very least, I don't care what really happens as long as Amon St. Brown just scores his ass off. I don't care. Let me see.
hopefully Aaron Jones and Watson are back. And
There you go.
go Packers.
You got some stuff to look forward to for sure. Let's see. Just taking care of business. Like I said, housekeeping. Friday, check me out. Twitch.tv/SportsTownShy going live for No Substitute for Sports live. Bad Karma Wrestling again. Bad Karma Wrestling over on X-Bomb Sports. Go live on their YouTube and on their Facebook. Two opportunities. Like I said, you can play it back on both. I'll be sharing it on my personal social media accounts and whatnot. Always check back, like and subscribe here. Share us around, comments, or suggestions, or talk about what happened to the Bears. If you want to cry with me, if you want to be depressed with me, pissed off, sure enough, do that. Sound off. Preview any other team. Woo woo. Make sure we're paying attention to everything. Good luck, like you said, fantasy to everybody. Thank you, Alan, for taking notes. Thank you, Troy, as always, for watching. Thank you, everybody, as always, for tuning in, sharing us, liking, subscribing.
Troy.
Always. This has been episode 37 of No Substitute for Sports. Thank you. Tune back next week. We'll see yous. Take care.
Peace out.